Welcome everyone to our first ever daily success call for the year 2022. John Lavetia back.
Hi.
I know you missed me. I know you love me. How did you live without me? I don't know. But good to see some familiar
Had to
faces
get
here.
by, just had to get by.
Thank you. Let's take a look at some beautiful people here real quick. Whoever's on camera. I see Tracy. Good to see Tracy. Alex here. Ann, Patricia. Deborah's here. Simon, good to see you. I just met Simon before. There's Susan and Catherine. Good to see Crystal. Of course, Missy's here. And Maggie is out there in the water world wilds, wherever she is right there. Good to see you, Maggie.
I'm
all right.
actually,
Nobody else
that's
wants
by
to-
my old house, but I'm by a channel right now. It's really pretty up.
Oh,
Nice
very
out
cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. So I know all about water because I just moved east, right? So I know stuff about water now. But here I am coming at you live from what will be my new office. Right now it's just boxes and stuff. But
That's a nice color.
yeah, thank you. And so I haven't talked to you guys in what, a week and a half. So we ended off on, what was it, Christmas Eve? And now here we are, January 3rd, right? And so some time has gone on and I want to make this relevant. I'm going to see how I can create a bridge between what my life has been like and e-commerce. We're going to find metaphors and stuff for e-commerce here. But for those of you who have been asking, I moved and it was a big deal. So I'm going to give you a little talk today about resolve, since a lot of people are into like New Year's resolutions and stuff. And I had this conversation recently in two parts with my mastermind group that I run, but I thought it would be good for us to start our year here with some of these ideas that I was reminded of and that I got to demonstrate. Yes, not just talk, but actually do it as it related to getting things done that had to get done. So here I was, we had this grand plan. We had plans, you see, those are good things. But we had a plan that we were going to pack up the house, which we did. It took some weeks, okay? And then on Christmas Eve, which was a Friday, right? On Christmas Eve, we're gonna get the truck, and we did. And we're gonna load the truck, and we're gonna hit the road on Christmas morning after my daughter opens presents and all that. So with no furniture, right? So we got the truck. Now, granted, we're talking about Phoenix, Arizona here. We hadn't seen a cloud in about 3 months. Okay, not a cloud. Christmas Eve, the most torrential downpour. For 10 years, I can't remember it raining that long and that hard. Now, usually in this winter, you get little winter drizzles here and there in the desert. Summertime, you get the monsoons, which come and go, and they're over in an hour, and you get the desert gets replenished with rain. It's all very nice. Okay. This was a deluge, like 2 inches of water running in the streets. Here we are with the guys and the truck. They're trying to load the truck. They're slipping on the rack, on the ramp and everything, right? And they say, guys, we're willing to come back tomorrow. We say, well, tomorrow's Christmas Day. Yeah, we're concerned about safety. And, as far as Christmas Day, we don't have families. We are our family, the moving crew. All right, you guys, you're on. So Christmas Day, we are loading the truck now. Rain finally stopped. Okay, we're loading the truck. And we're confident, because we unloaded a lot of our furniture, we're confident that we're going to fit everything in the truck. I got a 26-foot truck, huge friggin' truck. Okay, guess what? Not everything fit in the truck. So we need a trailer, but it's Christmas Day, so everything's closed. So we got to wait till tomorrow. We just lost a day. All right, on our planned drive. We were planning on doing this in 4 days. So the next morning we got the trailer so we could hook it up to my wife's van. We loaded the rest of the stuff. We finally got on the road. Now we got to compress 4 days into 3, which we did. Driving, and I don't know that I would ever want to do this again, but driving 14 to 16 hours a day, 3 days straight, through construction zones. And fortunately, the weather was good. We had a little bit of rain in Eastern Texas. By the way, Eastern Texas, how many of you are in Eastern Texas? Like once you get east of San Antonio, all the way to the rest of Texas, there's like construction zone after construction zone where there's no shoulder at all. And it's semi trucks riding neck and neck that close to each other at 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. It is friggin' crazy at night, right? Anyway, we did it. We did it. We pulled it off. And we got here and we got back on track. We got unloaded and all that. So now here I am putting my house together, and it took 3 days just on my daughter's bedroom. But why do I tell you this story? I tell you because it was something we had to get done. It wasn't like, you know what, if the going gets rough, well, we'll just abort and, wait for more congenial circumstances or something. No, we had resolve. There was schedules, there were timelines, there was targets to hit, right? There was an agenda. And despite the most unexpected, deluge of rain that we could have never expected that, not in Arizona anyway, we still got it done. So how does this relate to what we're doing here? You're all on a journey as well. It may not be, it may or may not be as stressful or as intense as the journey I just went on. It was friggin' intense. Okay. In fact, in my garage, whoever had the house before, or maybe the original owners or whatever, they built like some wooden shelving thing with like this big beam that goes across where you can have hooks and hang stuff and everything. And I told the guys who were unloading the truck, I said, you see this beam? That's so I could hang myself if I ever decide to move again, right? That's what that beam is for. And so, but it's an intense experience, and there's curveballs that come our way. But the fact that we got it done, my favorite 4-letter word, done, D-O-N-E, the fact that we got it done. By the way, Missy and Jan, I used my done cup like 100 times. That was the main cup while we were moving in here. I used it again and again and again. Missy and Jan made me a cup. It says done on one side and wait on the other. My favorite and least favorite 4-letter words, done and wait. So we got it done because why? Because we decided to get it done. It was a decisive thing, and we didn't have to wait for, like, I need to go make a New Year's resolution or something. There was nothing, auspicious or ceremonial about it. It was a decision that was made in advance, and it was not something that was going to be, we were not going to be thwarted from our path. So how does this relate to what you guys are doing? Well, there's a lot of people that come and go, and I'm not, hopefully, I think I'm just stating the obvious, right? In fact, I say this all the time to people when we meet, like on welcome sessions and stuff like that, that the internet exists for anybody. Any clown can show up and do internet stuff. Maybe make money, maybe lose money. I don't know, right? Do you know what percentage of people make more than $100 a month? People who intend to make money online? I'm not just talking here, I'm talking in the industry. The latest statistic I heard was less than 3%. Less than 3% of people who have labeled themselves online marketer or aspiring online business person are making more than $100 a month. Now, to me, that's startling as a guy who's made millions online. I've done business with people all over the world that I've never met in person. I may never meet them in person. We got staff members here. We got staff members here in the low-hanging system that are all over the world that I've never met in person. And yeah, we're doing business all the time. I know them. In fact, one of the guys on staff, he is one of the admins. He and I were talking about music the other day. We were on a session. Oh, this was probably a couple months ago. And we were supposed to meet with some people. They didn't show up. So we just got to talk, and I figured we'll wait, give them 5-10 minutes. My policy is if you can't be on time, be early. Okay. But these people didn't get the memo, I suppose. So anyway, they were late. So we were just talking about music. Next thing you know, we're playing YouTube videos of some of our favorite bands. We're both into metal. So this is like community and friendships. And a lot of you guys are experiencing this virtually, right? For the first time. You perhaps used to show up maybe you still do, show up at a cubicle or a factory, an office building or whatever, and you get to be physically social with people, notwithstanding, COVID and whatever. But what's so-called normal for you is personal interaction. Well, that's one of the things I will tell you, that's one of the things that I would say the 97%ers, the people who are not, making a living online, that's one of the things that those people lack. I'll tell you what, trying to go it alone, here's the other part of this. I couldn't have done this trip alone. right? Buying a house and moving across country. I got, my wife, I got my daughter, everybody contributed, right? Not to mention realtors, mortgage people, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of decisive people who pulled this deal off. So for you to come here and to, I'm going to go be successful with online business, e-commerce, right? For you to come here and perhaps with an assumption that this is going to be like something else you did before, just like I couldn't assume this move is going to be like other moves that I've done before. This wasn't my first move. It was a pretty extreme one, okay? But for you to have assumptions and to base your expectations on assumptions, or that you're going to do it alone or something, I think is folly. Well, and why? Why would anybody want to do it alone? You see, one of the things that I get, I'll speak for myself, and I think you can relate to this. Hopefully you can as well. One of the things that I get by participating in groups like this and business environments like this is what I would call psychic pay. I get psychic pay, psychic meaning having to do with the spirit and the mind, okay? So there's certainly, remuneration in terms of money, right? Here's Federal Reserve notes or British pounds or whatever. And that's a form of pay. But another form of pay is the ability to work cooperatively with others, the ability to mastermind and to do things as a group. I mean, this is part of like just life, right? Look, you could see probably people that you've known or maybe that you know now, they're in, let's say, an office job and they're underpaid and they bitch and gripe about being underpaid because of course you don't get paid what you're worth at a job, you get paid what the job is worth. But part of their pay, which they may or may not be recognizing, and which may be actually what's the thing that's keeping them there, is that they get to hang out at the water cooler with Bob. And that's part of their psychic pay. They get to go, be social. This keeps people sticking around in lots of other things, which otherwise they might say are unsatisfactory. Think about, for those of you who've got experience in home business, network marketing, MLM, things like that. You've got a lot of people who show up for the opportunity and maybe they like the magic jungle juice product or whatever the product is. That's nice. Okay. But they stick around even though for years, even though they're not paying their bills with it. And they've got some stories about that too. Well, it's a slow build and, I'm working on it and, but the products are great and blah, 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 blah. Fine. Whatever your reasons are, I'm not here to validate or invalidate your reasons. It's great. But they show up at convention again and again and again, and they get to be social. And that's part of what people need in their lives, right? There's no man is an island. So bring that back here to the e-commerce, which ostensibly seems like a solo act. And for a lot of people, it is. A lot of those people aren't making a lot of money, okay? A solo act where it's you and your computer. And in this case, with print on demand, here's your designs and this and that. But if that was the entirety of your experience, and it was you and only you that had to weather every storm that will come your way, and there are storms. Missy could tell you about storms. Missy could tell you about 6-hour chat support. Was it 6 hours, Missy? Gear bubble and everything else, right? There are curveballs that are going to come your way, right? To be a solo act chronically and without recourse, without something that could also recharge your batteries. I don't know. Look, the whole reason we have this community here, right? When I was asked to come here and do this performance coach thing for this awesome group, first thing that had to go in was this forum. First thing, we're going to do a daily success call. And I think they called it Power Up or Fire Up or something. I said, I don't care about titles. I didn't even know what my title is. I don't care about the titles. Call me the head janitor. I don't freaking care. I care about the result. The result. And that's going to be predicated on some things that I know work, regardless of the methods. Okay. So just like with the move, regardless of the rain and the trucks and the trailer and this and that didn't fit in the holiday and holy crap, right? Regardless of that, we still got the result because we had additional support and options and things that we could fall back on, contingency plans, things like that. In the case of online business, every single top producer, every top burner I've ever worked with has not done it alone. And you'll hear you'll hear people when they talk about, in fact, you'll hear this from Rachel, those of you who are new, going through your accelerator modules, one of the things that you're going to discover about Rachel is that she didn't do it alone either. In fact, she still doesn't. She has mentors, right? She has people who are expert in areas that she's not expert in. I mean, look, there are people right now here in the low-hanging system. There are, I don't know, between 50 and 100 people on staff. I'm meeting new people all the time. And, oh, what's your post? All right. And what do you do? Oh, I work with the new people, or I do the routing of this. I'm accounting. I'm, legal and whatever. Right. So there's lots of people I haven't even met that make this whole thing run. Okay. But they all have an expertise in some area that others do not. In case you're wondering, I am not tech support. Not. Okay. I am not customer service. I don't deliver the product, right? I am, I guess if you could label me something, I am the town philosopher, right? I'm the person who if there's one thing that I know better than perhaps anybody else here, is how to take personal development principles and put them to use with whatever the methods are. Okay, right here. I've been studying this stuff for 35 years. So that's my post. That's what I do. And I do it in such a way that very few people do it. Okay, I like to make things relatable so you can actually use it. It's one thing to go read the book, and I recommended 5. If you guys are new, you should be into those books. Even if you're not so new, if you haven't read the books yet, read the damn books, okay? But to take that theory or that philosophy and to put it to use, all this stuff, all of it is for use. Otherwise, what the hell are we doing? I mean, entertainment's nice, but that doesn't pay the bills, right? We want to put this stuff to use. When you get into books like Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, or even something as basic as The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, right? When you actually put that stuff to use, holy crap, the transformation that could take place. So I'm not here to give anybody a brain hernia, right? The fact that I'm into all this highbrow philosophy stuff, and we can go down some interesting rabbit holes if you want. We're not going to do it in this forum. I do it sometimes with my mastermind group, but the fact that we've got all this, wisdom of the ages available isn't not necessarily the main focus of things, but it's what charges the batteries and makes all the other stuff, the methods, the things that Rachel and Adam and Amy and Heather are teaching you, right? It makes those methods more workable because who's working them? Somebody with charged batteries. That's good, right? If I wasn't charged up, I might have to get a charge cable. Speaking of charging, let me see how my battery's done. 23%. If I wasn't charged up with purpose and resolve, I could have abandoned course on that move, right? Using the move as the example, okay? I could have chosen to not weather that storm. But because my batteries were charged, so to speak, right? I can persevere, which means through severity, through severity. I can persevere. I love words. I love etymology and derivations, right? So I can persevere. Why? Because of that, because of who's doing it. Who's doing it? So I think for each of you here, and some of you I haven't met in person yet. I don't mean physically in person. I mean, some of you we're just getting to know each other because I've been on vacation for a week and a half. Take this to heart, right? And just know that the intent behind all this, we wouldn't have any of this if the intent wasn't to have you go make a spectacle of yourself. I mean, really blow this thing up. Look, we got plenty of people on the internet just taking up space. Don't you be one of them. Go blow this thing up. Do something of note, something worth talking about. So then when people, come, let's say the newcomer, right, who is about to sign up for low-hanging system tomorrow, they don't even know it exists right now, but tomorrow they're going to be here in this room. And then they hear stories of Patricia and Anne and Maggie, the legendary, who lives out in the sea, right? And they hear the legend, right? I don't know. I mean, look, I kind of like grandiose stories, right? I mean, as something as mundane as e-commerce, right? Sounds pretty, left brain. Okay. Well, what right brain stuff can we add to it? And that's where I think community and a bit of imagination comes in, right? Anybody here like movies, right? You can start to think about like characters, like how you're going to show up, like what character you would show up as, almost like a role model to others. I think I've admitted here before, one of mine is Aragorn. I know I'm going pretty far afield of the main topic right now, but and every time I've watched The Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, right? There's this guy Aragorn, right? He's the king. He's the Return of the King, right? That's the guy, and he was portrayed by Viggo Mortensen or something. I can't remember the guy's name. Great actor. Anyway, he portrayed Aragorn, and he nailed it. It was like, here's this guy. He goes through some shit, right? It wasn't an easy ride, okay, to return as the king. But my goodness, he keeps it together, right? He overcomes barriers. He doesn't despair. He doesn't despair, right? I could have despaired, but because it was me, my wife, my daughter, other allies, right? We got through it. Aragorn didn't do it alone either, right? He had the elf guy and the dwarf guy and the hobbit guy, right? So a lot of people had to come together for the return of the king. So anyway, I relate to that. And I like to relate myself to that in such a way where I could ask myself, given that I'm not doing this alone, what would Missy do in this situation? What would Crystal do? Crystal seems pretty level-headed. Maybe she's got me fooled, right? What would Simon do? I just met Simon, but he'd probably do something cool. Probably wouldn't get all frantic. You know what? I wonder what Tracy would do on that. And we could actually take, different strengths from different personalities and characters here in the group and assimilate to create, the ideal you, the person who will persevere, who will get through storms, and who will do something of note. Because if not you, then who? There's lots of room at the top, my friends. Lots of room. I urge you to go ahead and claim a spot. That's just going to take the consistent application of principles and some real resolve, not just because you had New Year's Day or something, suddenly you're resolved, right? No, real resolve. Decide who you are and then be that. Anyway, I love you guys. That's what's coming up for me. Here's my triumphant return. John is back, whether you like it or not. Hopefully, you guys had a good time with Karen. She was just texting me saying, "Hey, you hosting today?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, you're back." So somebody's glad I'm back. Hopefully, other people are too. Any thoughts on this? This whole idea of perseverance and getting it done regardless of whatever curveballs might come your way. Let's go to Scott, and then any other hands that go up will entertain some conversations. Hey, Scott, what's up, brother?
Good morning, John. Good morning, everyone. Interesting you mentioned Aragorn, because to me, he and Gollum are so similar.
Really? Okay.
Because the alternative to achieving their goal was unthinkable. In Aragorn's case, Mordor would have won the day and evil would have reigned supreme over the known world as it was. Unthinkable. He couldn't even comprehend that possibility. In Gollum, the prospect of not having the ring, unthinkable. So when the alternative to your goal is unthinkable, it really helps your resolve. It helps your focusing. So yeah, they're different characters, but the intensity of their goal is just as real for both, because the alternative was unthinkable. And if the alternative is unthinkable, then you can't be stopped, in the sense that if you saw a child crying in a fiery building, the prospect of leaving that child there would be unthinkable. And the same sort of thing. It's not even on the radar as a possibility.
Right.
And if it's not even on the radar, then you're as good as done.
No escape hatch, right?
Yep, exactly.
So kind of like the burning the boats metaphor, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, that is a really good observation, right? So you know what I think, Scott and everyone, is that when the necessity level is high, or when the stakes are high, or when the buy-in is high, then people tend to have a bit more resolve. People tend to value well, they don't want to lose what they've invested in, right? So, which is something else I guess we could look at here. Here we are, with a course at a couple $1,000, whatever. I've seen people walk from 50 grand, never mind a couple $1,000, right? It's like I mentioned before, the home business MLM kind of stuff, $1,000, $500, whatever. Take a walk, no resolve. So yeah, now there's no turning back. Guys, I do have to grab a charge cable, so I'm going to be right back. Let's go to Michael. Come on out, Michael. I'll be right back. I just got to go get a charge cable.
Okay. Should I say something?
Please do.
Hey, if you guys like Aragorn, his real name is Viggo Mortensen. And like the movie, this guy, if you ever have a chance, look up his history. This guy can speak like 7 languages. He can ride horses. He did a movie where he was the only American with a special kind of horse to win the Arabian cross the desert contest, and it was based on a true story. And to this day, he rides horses like crazy. He's a real horse fanatic. But personally, this guy's been in the military. He was just his life is like Aragorn, but in real life. So he's done a lot, and he's accomplished a heck of a lot.
And good looking to boot.
Oh yeah, he's a looker. So I wanted to tell John that, but
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
okay, cool. So the other thing I was going to say relating to you have to do it. My stepmom, when we came to Canada, she had just gotten her driver's license, and then she had to drive from New York City all the way to Winnipeg, Manitoba. That's over 2,000 miles.
Wow.
Okay. Just got her driver's license. Yeah. You want to talk about hairy? No shoulders, semis backed up. She was very much, I'm going to follow the speed limit. So she decided to do that one night. And I remember all I could see was white because all of the truckers' lights were on full high beams, blinding us, and they were leaning on the horn. So when she finally got to a place where she had a shoulder, she pulled over, and there must have been 10 miles of semi trucks behind us. She had backed up. But they were not happy, I can tell you. But you know what? She did what she had to do. It's just like what John said. It's like there's no choice. We had to be in Winnipeg by a certain time to take the condo over that they were just buying, and there was no okay, we'll just wait. She just had to, and she had a plan. Every 3 hours we were stopping for a food, and sometimes if we got behind, we would drive through the night. But she just kept to it, and power to her for doing something like that. Like a woman for the first time driving 2 kids who weren't even hers cross country to do this. And like I said, she just did it. There was no, I wonder if I should, I'm going to give up, because there were a couple of times where she was breaking down, having a nervous breakdown, and she got her done. She just kept going. And that tenacity and that focus and that drive just kept her going. And I'll always remember that. You can't make stuff like that up. But these memories and these lessons that we learn from these memories are so important. So.
Thank you, Michael.
Tenacity. This is probably my last call for a while because I had to get a full-time job, and my job perfectly coincides with all of these videos and classes. So I'm like, ugh. So I'm on the other side making money, but unfortunately the trade-off is I won't be able to see you guys, and that's really unfortunate. So I may be able to pop out. Yeah, there's YouTube. But it's just not the same, John.
All right. Well, then maybe you could wear a headset while you're, whistle while you work or something,
Yeah. Safety wise.
I've seen it. So.
Yeah. It's been a ride, let me tell you.
Well, glad you're here, brother. And thank you for sharing that experience as well. Good times. We got a couple more hands up. Let's go to Jewel. Where's Jewel? Hey. Come on out, Jewel.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hey, I hear you.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Great. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm just wanting to reach out and say thank you for bearing with me because no one could see me all this time. Not even me. I couldn't see myself. But I just want to say thank you, John, Scott, Mike, everybody who continuously gives me support on this new journey of LHS. I think it's absolutely fascinating. It's wonderful. The encouragement is amazing. And I'm just really glad that I joined this group because it's such a great community. And I've never been like in a business venture where everyone really supports one another. And I just want to say thank you to everyone because this learning curve of getting my video up and the art, it was just like, are you serious? This has got to be simple. And for some reason, it wasn't. So I did that. I feel good. The subject of tenacity plays very well for me today because it is this determination and tenacity that will get us through the tough times. John, you made it. You accomplished your mission and your move. And it wasn't easy, but hey, when it works, it pays off. So I just want to say I appreciate this topic very much. It's very encouraging, very supportive, and I just want to say thanks, guys, and hopefully I can be a source of support as well.
You already
Thank
are,
you.
Joel. Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
know what? That's validating right there because look, you had however much, learning you needed to do to learn how to get your camera running on your device, whatever you're using. Okay. Whereas other people here, they're much further down the road in terms of like technology with Zoom or whatever. Okay. We've been doing business on Zoom for a long time. However, on that gradient, we're all in different spots. So you
Right.
already are more experienced and more advanced than the person who is going to show up tomorrow and they've been Amish for the last 20 years and they don't know what is Zoom, what, right?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy,
Right.
but I'm telling you, it was very much because of the determination, support, listening to you guys daily and
Mhm.
seeing how you get through the different hurdles. It just gave me more encouragement to just continue and not to just feel discouraged because anything's possible as long as you can believe that it can be done and just hang in there. And I think you'll see good results from that.
Yeah,
And this
we're
is proof,
expecting
you
that.
guys. This is proof. Yes. Thank
We're
you so much.
expecting it. All right, Jewel, welcome and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, John.
All
Same to
right,
you.
let's go to the mighty Crystal McMullen and then Patricia. Crystal.
Hi, guys. I just want to say it's so good to be back and see all you guys. Had a good new year and I'm so proud of all your wins. I've been keeping track of everybody, trying to. I did have to step back for a bit. My dad has been in the hospital and not doing very well. So I know it's January 3rd, so it feels like it's the new beginning, but it's just kind of ironic that now we found a place for him. So he'll be comfortable. So tomorrow he moves in and now I, feel comfortable that he's going to be taken care of in his last few days and ready to start all fresh and excited and keeping up. So good job, guys. I'm so glad to be back.
Wow, glad you're here, Crystal. Great to see your face and your environment is all set up and aesthetic. I remember when you were moving. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're
I'm in
all,
it right now.
all moved in now. Yeah. So
Good times.
I always knew I
Very
was going to
good.
come back. It just took some time. So glad to be back. Good to
Awesome.
see y'all.
I'd love to connect with you perhaps this week at some point, just kind of catch
Yeah,
up.
for sure. Yeah,
All right.
that'd be great.
Let's go to Patricia. She aims to please. Patricia.
Hi, everybody. John, as usual, I felt like you were talking directly to me today. Anytime I get sick, it's like 14 different things all happen at one time, and so I wasn't able to come online and listen, and even to not say anything, it would have been nice to just be here because the longer it went, the more depressed I got. I didn't have my family with me, My husband is an over-the-road truck driver, so I got to talk to him, but only a little bit at night.
Was
And
he one of the guys on the road in Eastern Texas through those construction zones? Yeah.
no, he was up in Canada by Michael,
Oh, okay.
I think. But it really, coming on here every day really makes a difference in my spirit and in my aggression. I am really good at getting other people motivated. It's just getting myself motivated. I kind of forget what I say to other people, and so I need to hear it and need to hear the camaraderie and the friendship so it's really nice to be back. And I thank y'all. I'm like you, Jewel. I thank everybody for being here because it really makes a huge difference. Now I'm ready to get back into it. And as they say here in Texas, barnstorm it and just really go for it. So thank y'all. Happy New Year. And I'm really sorry about your dad, Crystal. I'll
Thank
be
you.
praying for you. So anyway, I love all of y'all.
Thank
That's
you.
it. Thank you.
Glad you're here. Thanks, Patricia. Welcome back. Oh, we got a couple more hands up. So let's go to Missy, and then I think Jules got something else to say. Hey, Missy.
Well, John, I just want to thank you for going through the roots of the word persevere, because if you have ever touched on or lived in despair, and I have because of 20 years of stupid physiology from stupid mindsets, but it is a very dangerous place to live, and you have to correct yourself, and you can't get through it without resolve. It is impossible. It takes you over. It's a dark cloud that envelops you. And I'm not talking about depression. I'm talking about just, look up despair. Okay. And the Catholic Church considers it sinful because it's of where it can take you. And the resolve that I have learned from this group is what I've said it before. It kept me alive. April 1st, I was going on to the other side of that hill. And that just goes to show you what a mindset can do. That doesn't mean it changed my physiology like that. But it changed, it brought me back to what I knew better and I had almost abandoned. But anybody who's new here, keep coming no matter what. If you can't be here, then you better watch it on YouTube, because you're going to grow in ways that you can't even imagine or think of right now. And there's going to be a lot of discouragement. Discouragement, despair are not the same thing. So the discouragement are just the bumps, and you got to get through the bumps. And most of them are technical and stupid platforms, and they're stupid, things that they do, but you can get through them. But don't let yourself go anywhere else. And if you are, you've got to tell somebody here, and we'll get you back. Send an email to John, send an email to me, anybody. Just keep strong, keep resolved, keep persevering. That's all you have to do. And you cannot fail with these methods. It's impossible.
Awesome. Thank you, Missy. You're reminding me of Dorothea Brand. Act as though it were impossible to fail. So thank you, my friend. We're going to wrap up with Jewel. Jewel, you had one more comment? Jewel, you're muted. If you can unmute.
Unmute. I think I am. Okay, great. Real quick, John. I just had shoulder replacement surgery, hence my little gadget here around my neck.
I was wondering about your apparatus. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what's going on there? Yeah, well, it's my little portable sling here, and it helps me just keep my shoulder stabilized. And it's been really painful, the pain meds, and just, trying to stay focused. And, I just got to say what an impact this group has had on me, because it takes my focus away from, the discomfort and all the things that come along with having major surgery. And for all, those who are facing other, discouraging situations, this is the place to be. I got to tell you, I've stayed silent for a while, but this is the place to be. John, you are amazing. Everyone in this community is amazing. And I just want you to know, each one, just keep doing what you're doing, because we're going to get there. And I can see that happening. So on that note, I just want to say thank you. And Gail, thanks to you too. You've been a huge support. Thanks so much, you guys. That's all.
Thanks, Joel.
Okay.
All right, you guys, that's a great way to end off for today. So let's do that. We've got a bunch on the calendar. And I know, of course, tomorrow you're going to be back here with Karen. So I'm glad to be back. Here we go. January is going to be huge. So I will see you guys again real soon. Make it a great day. Okay. Bye for now.